Welcome to the Coda podcast for wedding filmmakers. In this episode, we will be speaking with Elena and Sofia, also known as the Costa Sisters. Over a decade ago, the Costa Sisters burst into the wedding industry with their trademark high-paced and energetic filmmaking style. More in common with music videos than any traditional wedding films, Elena and Sofia soon carved out a niche, attracting like-minded couples with a taste for the unconventional. During this conversation, we discuss how from early on they were able to target their ideal clients, filtering out people that wouldn't be 100% on board with their vision, and also the methods employed to be able to capture and craft their trademark films. How are you guys?
Hi.
You okay? Thanks for joining me.
Hi, thanks for having us.
There's so much I want to get into today. To start off with, what I like to do is a few quick fire questions just to loosen us up a little bit and just get a bit of an insight.
Okay.
So how many weddings do you film on average each year?
It's a long-winded answer.
It's not
Go on
answer.
then.
It's different every time.
Sometimes, go on.
Because basically we only take on the weddings that really speak to us and that we really vibe with. So sometimes it can be 4, sometimes it can be 10, and
It's different every year. It shocks us every year. We're like, this is the first question everyone asks. I'm like, I have no idea how many weddings we've got this year.
also it takes us a really long time to edit because we put in so much love into each project that
This is quick fire.
we can't take too many on. Okay. Anyway,
No, this is good. It's nice to
Okay.
get the insight into it because, like you say, that's not, when it comes to you guys, that is not a simple answer, is it?
Yeah.
It depends on your year and how you work. And that's something I want to dive into you guys as well, especially when it comes to edit, because I'd say your films are very edit heavy, aren't they? A lot of the work is going into that side of things. So, yeah, it's interesting to get a bit of insight into that. And what cameras are you using at the moment?
we just upgraded to the R5s.
And I mean literally just upgraded. We've been using the same cameras for like 15 years.
We were using the 5Ds before, and for so many years, but we love the R5s.
Photographers would
Nice.
They would look at our cameras and be like, are you still going on that one? I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We loved that camera. And as soon as we upgraded, I was like, why didn't we do this sooner? This is an amazing camera.
Oh, really? Have you found
Yeah.
it? What 5D was it you were using before, up till now?
The Canon, the Mark IV, I think.
How do we not even
Oh
know?
yeah, with the touchscreen, the one with the touchscreen
yeah.
on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of people when they've moved over for Canon, they're like, you found the colours to be similar when you've gone to the mirrorless.
I think they were a little bit better on the 5Ds, but they're still really nice on the R5s.
The 5Ds are just so dreamy and the new cameras are so real. It was just really different to get used to the...
Well,
Yeah.
we actually did buy the R6 and we had to return it because we just didn't vibe with
Hated it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people, I think that move into mirrorless, it's either been an absolute game changer or a bit of a kind of, I don't know, you're losing some of the features that you did, the soul that you had in those old cameras has been replaced with a computer almost.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you've got to hold out to enjoy. Like,
And now we're obsessed.
now we love it, and I can't believe it took us that long to upgrade. Honestly,
You've saved some money over those years though,
I know.
holding out on the old Cannons.
Yeah.
They're built like tanks though, aren't they? The old Cannons are.
oh, I feel like all
Yeah.
our wages need to go on having massages because they're so heavy.
Yeah. Put it through the business. Absolutely.
Exactly, everything.
And what are your favourite lens setup? Do you both have different favourites and how you operate on a day?
We both love the 24 to 70 and we find that we
Dream.
just both use it. We have got the 85 as well, but we find we don't use it as often.
That's why it's so
A
heavy.
bit more versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what software do you use to edit on?
So we used to edit on Premiere Pro, but we very recently upgraded that as well to DaVinci Resolve, and we love
nice.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Has that been much of a learning curve switching over?
yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
But again, something I was like, why did we wait so long?
But we're always like learning new things, and we're totally into it. We have so much fun, like diving in and getting to know it.
We spend a lot of time on YouTube.
Do you guys edit together at the same time, or do you work on separate projects?
We both sit around the same screen and we're like put our minds together and like, what can we do? Blah, blah, blah.
Just for the editing stages. For the
Yeah.
rest, like
Yeah.
I'll maybe edit photos while she's cutting up footage and stuff like that. We just try and have our own little roles and But the editing part's our favourite part, so we have to do that together.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Like, I imagine if I had someone next to me when editing, I'd be procrastinating like anything.
Oh,
or
we
do you find you more focused working together?
We definitely do that.
And what would you say is your biggest artistic influence?
Oh, definitely Tarantino.
Just all film, like
films.
Every
movies.
time we watch a film, I'm like, oh my god, those opening credits were amazing. We take so much inspiration from movies; it's unreal.
And when there's like a shot that's really well shot, and we're like, oh my god, we could use that.
Yeah, we have to rewind, take pictures. We're like, we need to recreate this.
Use that as a good, cool pose on the day, and stuff like that.
And I feel your style lends itself to that as well, in like bringing in influences from pretty much anywhere, and almost like kind of if the couple are fitting the right vibe, you can mix things up as well.
Definitely.
Your films, though, they're all high pace, high energy, I'd say, aren't they, for the most part?
Yeah,
but also they've all got. They're all different as well in the same kind of way. It kind of, you feel like the couple are almost coming out to you in that their kind of personalities are being shown, and I guess that's clearly on purpose, isn't it?
Well, kind of like happy accidents. I like. Our work is like a mess, which is what I love.
Controlled chaos, right?
Yeah, exactly. We never know.
The editing controls that chaos.
Yeah, we never know what it's going to end up being like. We just kind of. Depends what we've watched that week, I guess. That's cool, we'll do that.
That's quite exciting, I imagine, though. Like when you film those weddings, you really a lot of the building happens in the edit process, doesn't it? Like in terms of you're creating that story, because you're not using much narrative audio, are you? Or am I right to say that? Yeah. So it's almost you're creating the story with the visuals, and then you can put that out there however you want.
Yeah, it's the music is the most important aspect for us.
Yeah.
It heavily influences the whole vibe.
Cool. And if we wanted to start off with, it just gives a bit of context about your work. Are you happy talking about your packages and what you deliver?
Yeah. So we've got 3 different wedding packages. We've got one for elopements.
Which is quite a new one. We did that in lockdown because everyone was just getting eloped. And we were like, actually, I love just doing elopements. It's so fun.
Yeah, we definitely want to do more of those. And that one is 1,200. And we also do a short highlights video, which that's our short story package, 2,500 that one. So that's just like a 2-minute video.
Yeah.
And then there's a Clarence in Alabama, which is our full story package, which that is, you get a highlights video and you get a longer video, which is like 8 to 10 minutes. And you get a separate speeches video. And that is 3,800. So
the difference between because the way you guys edit, say for example, when I do my shorter film and I do a longer film, like the longer film just includes more bits on the day in terms of like ceremony and stuff. Your edit is quite intensive in the amount of work that goes into it. How are those two edits different? How do you make them different? Is it literally just more? There's more in there, or?
Yeah, I mean. Yeah,
the 8-minute one, it's quite hard because our videos are so fast-paced and stuff. It is quite hard to fill 8 minutes, unless there is loads of amazing stuff going on the day.
Yeah,
it's quite hard to.
We do put in some audio from the ceremony or from the speeches, whatever we kind of feel like. Oh, we like that, so we'll use that we'll put that into the long video. So that kind of fills out some space that way.
I also feel like. With our highlights, we don't always put the important parts in, like the cake cutting, the first dance. We kind of just go with what the vibe of the day is, and we don't put pressure to get all the key moments in. And the long version has all of that stuff in. Yeah. So we kind of say, if you want all that wedding stuff, get the long one. Yeah. Because you never know what's going to pop up in our...
Yeah, I mean, we're very visually driven, so for the highlights, it's all about looking good, all the good stuff.
Yeah. I might be making assumptions here, but from looking at your work and the kind of couples that you film, I imagine they kind of like having a showpiece about them, just as a couple, but then having like that accountability reel almost of like the longer version, which has all the stuff to please the family as well.
Yeah.
And is that kind of how those films go?
It's kind of like a trailer, I guess. To a movie, you just see all the fun parts, and then if you want more, you go see the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of. Do you ever kind of upsell afterwards? So, say someone just orders the shorter package, do you film in a way so you're filming the speeches and ceremony in a way that can be upsold to sell that afterwards as well, or?
We always film our weddings as if they've hired us to do the big package. So if they do want to upgrade, we can just be like, nice and easy, got everything. We don't really push it that much though, do we?
Because, I mean, it takes a long time to edit, like we said. It's we don't want the backlog to get so big, but yeah.
When someone's ordered like the package with 2 films, do you start with the longer film first, or do you do that faster highlight one?
We start with the highlights first.
In your highlight film, is it multiple songs, or is it like the one song and then you've got multiple in the longer one?
Well, that's actually recently changed. I think so. We always used to do just one song for the highlights video, but now we've started to like
mix in a few.
Yeah, do a little bit of a mashup.
Bit spicy.
Yeah, but with our highlights video, it's not the highlights. With the longer video, we do about 3 songs, full songs.
Yeah.
It depends on how long the ceremony is, because that can take up quite. Yeah. Depends.
Will those longer films be structured almost like prep, ceremony, reception party?
Kind of, yeah.
More of a structure than our highlights, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Our highlights are just throwing everything everywhere.
But we still...
you come back and forward in time, don't you? In your highlights films, you're kind of like, you're taking on a journey.
Yeah.
Throughout time.
Your brain's like, I don't know what's happening, but it looks so fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I look at these films like, I wouldn't know where to begin. Like in terms of, because my films, I guess, are kind of almost chronological in a way. But when I look at your films, they're all over the place. I think, where do I start? Where do I start? So I'm interested in to get into that.
When we first started and we did that style, we got so much shit for it. Everyone they were like, what are you doing? Like, you can't mix this stuff up.
That's quite interesting. That's let's go into that a little bit then. So how did you guys get started, and how did you find your style?
I mean, we've always been into cameras. We filmed everything. We got asked by an event, a tattoo event, to...
Well, we filmed that anyway, and then we made a video, and then the event, the person who ran it was like, could you do this every week?
Yeah.
And I was like, we could get paid for doing what we're enjoying to do.
Yeah.
And at the time, we were both working in retail together, obviously, because we do everything together.
Obviously,
I know. And we were both hating our lives.
Yeah. And then we kind of...
quit.
I think, well, you were really big into Tumblr, so and you saw like this wedding video that was like really cool, and we were like, oh my god, I didn't know wedding videos could be cool. And
it was an American video, so they're obviously way ahead of us at all times.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Weddings can be fun and cool and not just like, I don't know.
Boring.
Yeah.
So that kind of inspired us to just get into weddings. We thought, well, let's just go for it. And we actually ran a competition with a wedding blog, and we got
applications. We probably should have just done 1 free wedding, but we did like 4 free weddings. So we had so many like applications to do it, and
from that we got to choose our favourites, because since the beginning we've always been very picky with what kind of vibe we want to go for. We have to enjoy it. We really we're driven by the passion for it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then your style as well, you need the couple to be fully on board, I assume, with that kind of style and the way you're going to deliver it. And I guess especially at a time where, like, because I feel like you guys have pioneered this style over in the UK. I know there's people possibly doing it before in America and stuff, but you were the first doing it over here. And I bet, was there quite a bit of kickback to it when you first started doing it?
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
I'm surprised we powered through.
I know. We were going to quit. If there hadn't been 2 of us, we would have quit right from... Yeah. We wouldn't have made it a year, let me tell you that.
I know.
It was very dramatic.
But I'm so glad we did. We powered through.
But when we first started, we basically were copying the video that we liked, that we saw on Tumblr, and we were going quite heavily vintage. And we were kind of trying to copy that structure and that style that we loved. And then we did one of our friends' weddings, and we were like, okay, let's just try and do it the way we would want it.
Yeah.
And that's when we went crazy and did.
And that's when we kind of developed our style then.
Yeah.
Because we just let loose and kind of just did it exactly how we wanted.
We're always don't think about what the client wants, is how we got it. We were just like, let's just try and do what we would want to do.
Yeah.
See what happens.
And then we made a niche.
And there you go. And there's the
And there you
birth of
have
the
it.
Costa Sisters. Yeah. So you got these applications in. You were then able to go through and think, oh, these will be the right vibe, and this will be the kind of wedding on a film. So you were able to make sure that the films will work from a marketing point of view as well,
Yeah.
so you can push your brand
Yeah,
down that
that's
way.
it. Yeah.
I mean, that was a conscious decision right from the
Yeah.
start that you wanted to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we knew we had that vision of like not wanting to do a traditional wedding. We wanted to start out with being able to experiment with like a
Cool weddings, fun
Yeah.
ones, or something a bit different.
Our first wedding that we did was like an American road trip styled.
Americana.
It was so fun, and we were like straight
No
away. We
way.
were like, bang, we're in. This is what we want to do.
Loved it.
Yeah, and you just felt you just fit perfectly in there because, like,
Yeah.
if you're saying those words to me now, like that sounds like Costa Sisters wedding, like Americana kind of road trip. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and so was it just the first wedding you did where you were trying to do a different style, and then when did your friend's wedding come in where you found your style? Had you done a few weddings by then?
I
I
think it was so early on.
It was
must
like
have
third.
been-
I think it was our third wedding that we did.
Yeah.
The weddings were still nice, the ones we did, but they were quite like, vintage. It was like
our
very
style
heavy
was
on
very vintage.
the light flares, and like it was like every 5 seconds you were going to have like an epileptic fit. It was just wild.
Awful looking back now. I cringe so hard at our style back then.
But if that bride is watching, love that video. But yeah,
It is funny when we think we improve over time, don't we? When we look back at our videos and think, oh, we really cringe at them, but our couples will still love those films.
honestly, at the time we were like, this is a fucking bollocks. We have nailed this. This is, we loved it. So, and it just felt so different because no one was doing wedding videos when we started. It just wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't really very popular back then.
No.
Yeah.
It was just not, it just wasn't, we just never saw anyone who did videos. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And if it was, there was a very particular, cinematic, very slow, which is nice, but in a very different way.
I feel like in the UK, even now, like I think there's a big boom in video now, but it's taken us a while, hasn't it? It's taken us a while to get on board with it, like the Americans have.
Yeah,
gradually.
Sure.
And I have a theory that kind of COVID pushed it along a little bit because people started getting video for these smaller weddings where friends couldn't be, and then people started realising that video is not rubbish anymore.
Yeah.
It can actually be done decent. Yeah,
We
it started
went-
to snowball.
We once even got an email and they were saying that they wanted to book us before the venue. And I was like, what? It's wild. I was like,
Wow.
They were just like, you tell us the date that you're free and we'll try and book the venue for the same. And I was just like,
Love that.
Yeah. Please be one of our couples because I can't pretend I'm booked.
I know. Oh, that's got us into trouble many a times.
And what was the when you said there was a bit of pushback to you when you first started out? Who was it that was making these comments and saying about your work?
Oh.
Was it other videographers? Was it?
Yeah.
Yes.
As I said, there was a very few people who were doing it.
I don't think people like the competition in the area as well.
Right.
It's just, I think it was just that two girls came along,
We're just having a good time.
And I think it was just, it happened. We didn't really have to, I don't want to say we didn't have to work for it, but it happened very easily for us. It just kind of naturally happened and we were just straight away fully booked.
Yeah.
And I think
that kind of pissed people off.
Yeah, people were pissed off.
Yeah.
And then we got, oh my God, it's a very long, we could do a whole podcast on this, but.
I know.
But basically we got, someone nominated us for an award. We turned it down because we said, we haven't done enough weddings.
Experienced, yeah.
Because I think we had done 4 wedding videos or something. And
we won, and basically that.
we won.
That.
And everything just blew. Everything online was abuse, like Costa Sister. Anyway,
Wow, this is juicy. Why are you skipping past this bit? This is the good stuff. So I'm gonna, and again, I'm making more assumptions. I'm imagining at that time, was the local kind of like the videography community around near you then, was it kind of crusty old men doing wedding films?
pretty much.
And then
you can say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, like, 2 young girls are coming in, changing up the style completely. They feel threatened.
Not
and then
even
they're trying
putting
to
the
push back
first dance in. They were like, what are these girls doing? What are they thinking?
Wow. And we've thrown a load of, like, they're not even using their cameras properly. Like technical
handheld-
information for it.
Yeah.
Handheld bitches.
Handheld bitches. Why didn't you go with that name?
People don't like change.
But the thing is, everyone's caught on with a handheld now, aren't they?
I know. Who's laughing now? Because now everyone.
Right, so if we can talk about the actual shooting itself and how you shoot on the day.
Yeah.
How do you guys actually work it? Do you split off in the day and one like cover groom and bride, or do you keep together and?
That would be the smart thing to do, is split up.
We stick together. I know. We do everything together. Just attached at the hip. People have asked us, "Oh, is it cheaper if just one of you come?" And we're like, "We're not gonna come if it's just one of us."
It's more expensive if you have one of us.
That's what we should do. That's smart.
Yeah.
But no, we should think about doing that.
I
But
know,
no, we don't.
We just stick together.
We kind of both get different angles.
If we have to, like, if it's a very tight schedule, then and we absolutely have to, then we will.
But especially now that we're offering photography and video, it just makes sense for us to be together. It just makes it easier for us to both be in the same place at the same time.
We have very different styles as well, so like we work really well together. I feel like we just have to work together really, because
she's being polite because she hates the way I film.
Oh.
She's a very different style.
Oh, yeah.
She's not saying, I thought she was going to say no, but no, you didn't feel like you dived in there.
No,
Yeah, when I'm editing,
polite.
I'm like, oh, you should have done this.
So blurry. Oh, it keeps. Yeah.
Now not so much with the stabilization, you know. You're getting better now.
She tells me off less now.
Yeah.
Do you get given notes at the end of the edit and the improvement points?
Sometimes she's like, I'm going to do a little test. Let's do a little test. Because I'm not very technical and she's a little bit better at that. So she sometimes likes to do little tests on me. She's like, what would you do in this situation? And I'm like, I know it. I just don't know how to word it. Carry on. Sorry, I've gone a bit off topic with that.
I don't just bully her constantly.
Don't start scrapping halfway through a podcast. Get it out. Get it out.
I know.
Yeah.
Because when I'm watching your films, I'm trying in my head to imagine how that unfolds, like visually. So bridal prep, because there's lots of movement and stuff. Are you literally kind of going around, moving quite a lot with the cameras, bringing it in, bringing it out, kind of, and you're both doing that?
Yeah.
I feel like we read the room though. So if like it depends. Like sometimes, you know, if people have 2 photographers as well, it gets a bit overwhelming having 4 cameras. So when that kind of happens, I just back off and let her do her thing.
Also, we film in very short bursts as well, so we're not in their faces as much as you might think. Like, it is quite surprising how quick we can get our shot and just, like, give them space. You know what I mean?
Sorry, my dog is really slurping right now. I'm so sorry.
Every podcast, a dog is kicking off in the background. Like, I don't know what it is.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Is it the sound of my weird voice? Like, makes dogs go weird.
Yeah.
And then do you kind of have when a certain event is happening, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something just in prep that's not massively exciting, but say like a bride's reading a letter or something from the groom, do you have certain roles that you know you're going to do in terms of coverage? Do you kind of know where each of them are going to be, or do you just kind of, it just happens?
I think it just happens. Like, I think with stuff like letter reading, we're really caught off guard and we're like, what do we do? And we like grab our spaces and just stay still and like and just go for it. But
we just kind of do this to each other. Am I in your way? Am I in your way?
Yeah, there's not much structure to it really.
I feel that freeform nature works for the way your videos are. And the one example in particular, there was a bride and I think she's going to see her dad, but she's walking herself down the hotel corridors to it, and like you're following her. Yeah. And it's one of those things. I imagine if I was doing it, I'd be like, well, I need to stay still. But the fact where you're going with her and you really feel you're part of it, and and you can tell it's not something that's planned. You're following her to get that shot, and it works really well. And I think that kind of that's the kind of that life and soul in your films can only happen by off-the-cuff moments that you're just kind of almost documenting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice way to think of it. Yeah. We just... I feel like every time we go to a wedding where we're just winging it, it's constantly being like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to get?
And we are really good at... Because we're very in sync with the way that we work. Like, we're really good at working together and we know how to avoid each other and not get each other in the shot and things like that. So... It just works. Yeah. It falls into place.
Yeah. Definitely, because watching your films, there's lots of footage, there's lots of coverage. So that's the only indication that would give me that there's two shooters, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like even though they're both there, like you must be so in sync with each other in terms of obviously not be. You know, I can't imagine there'd be one of you in the background at any point. But like just in terms of how it all matches together, the footage in the edit, it feels really consistent rather than there being two shooters. But I guess that comes from experience of shooting with each other since the beginning, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which really also helps with photographers and stuff too, because we're just really conscious of not getting in people's way.
Yeah, we're very aware of. Yeah, we're good at working with like a team of people, really. Yeah.
Which is always a bonus.
We have to this video, don't we? Because I always think, because the way I look at it, photographers most of the time aren't working with a videographer. So they have a method of how they work in, which every now and again we drop in and interrupt for them. So I feel it's on us, isn't it, to be able to work around them, because we work with a photographer pretty much every wedding, right?
Yeah.
So it's on us to work around them, I guess.
I know.
It's such an odd. That's kind of why we like working with people that we know we work really well with. We've never since. It was only back in the day we ever had problems with working with other photographers. We've
been quite lucky. Yeah, we don't really step on each other's toes or anything like that.
I think it's because, like what you said, there's always that barrier of we're supposed to be the shadow of the photographer.
Yeah.
But to be honest, during couple shoots, there's always enough time for us all to do our thing anyway. So it's always worked out quite well. We kind of just go, you do your thing, and then we'll just jump in. So we kind of, it's just been really easy. But
I imagine shooting portrait session from a photographer point of view, you guys would actually be great, because I imagine you're quite lively and you're hyping them up, so they can get nice natural shots without forcing.
Oh, we're very annoying. We get very involved.
We get so into it. Yeah, we got it. That's probably why we're muting our footage, because we just can't.
Oh my god.
Have us like yes, babe.
When we're cutting up our footage, it has to be on mute, because I cannot listen to. We're like, get some tongue in, like it's bad. It's bad.
And that's the secret method, is it? From getting that.
That's it. It works.
Be perverts.
When you guys, you say you're offering photo and video packages now.
Yeah.
So do you both do both? Do you do both roles, or do you have like a set role for it?
We both do both.
Again, it would be easier if we.
I know. But I guess we kind of like. We give each other signals so we know that one of us is doing photos or one of us is doing videos. Like, for example, in like key moments like the first kiss, obviously one of us has to be filming and one of us has to be taking the photos. So we communicate that. So we don't miss like big moments like that.
Yeah. And is that a new thing that you've added photo, or is it you've been doing it for a while?
That's over the last like year or so, really, or 2 years maybe.
Because we were always taking photos to put on Instagram anyway. We were like, why don't we just give this a go? Like, we love it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
So,
and that can be added onto every package, couldn't I?
Yeah.
You've got a name for it, haven't you? What's it called?
Is it You're So Cool? Yeah. You're So Cool. True romance.
Yeah. All of our packages are true romance themed.
Oh, nice. Love that. Yeah. And Tarantino, just each one through everything you do, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
An obsession, I would say.
So with each wedding, do you have a preconceived idea of how you're going to put that film together, how it's going to be presented, or is it a case of immersing yourself in a day, filming what's there around you, and then building it in the edit?
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of get the vibe on the day, and that I think we never really know how the wedding video is going to turn out until we dive into the editing stages. I think when we see the footage and when we're like listening to all the music and putting it all together, that's when the creation starts to come together.
And it revolves around the couple a lot, because we're not going to do a really super fun, fast pace when the couple aren't really given too much energy. So it's quite hard. So we kind of just go with the flow of what the couple are like on the day, because some people are a bit more reserved, or not many. But
every single one of our each one of our videos are different, and that's because it all reflects on the couple.
Yeah. So you just need to experience that day, immerse yourself in it, and you're learning as you go, and you're taking clues from the couple how possibly maybe later down the line would work for them, but. Yeah, you just need to get in there and film it first before you can make those decisions.
But I also feel like sometimes editing is like, it's so clever what you can do with editing, because you can also kind of fake high energy when it's not that high. We've really surprised ourselves sometimes, because we're like, oh, it wasn't even that like obviously it's a fun day, but not as
wild as we can make it look.
So music, the way you edit, it all, magic happens in that little editing room, let me tell you.
It really does, doesn't it? Yeah. But so you don't find yourself at a wedding that's not quite as high energy as you used to. Would you then be maybe doing more camera movements or something, so you've got more energy in the edit, or is it just...
I think we focus on getting more footage of things like details and things like that, or like we'll make more effort to take them to different locations during the portraits and stuff. So like we've got lots of footage to play around with, so it can kind of we can be faster with our editing sort of thing.
And something that's helped us a lot, the last couple of videos we've done, we've been really enjoying getting details of like the town that we're in.
Scenic.
And it's just so much fun to add all that kind of visual... Yeah, these new cameras have just got us like, oh my God, we just need to film everything.
We're so inspired.
Now you get into edit and you got like triple the amount of footage that you've done now.
Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming.
And the portrait session with a couple, that features quite heavily throughout your films, doesn't it? So in terms of that, are you pre-planning the couple shoot? How do you arrange that with a photographer? Do you come up with your ideas and put that to them, or do you kind of just bounce off together?
Oh my God, so much. I've got so many. I'm just going to end up verbally diarrheaing. Basically,
go for it.
Diarrhea.
Okay, so basically, diarrhea. Thank you. Sometimes we go around and find locations and stuff, but working with a photographer can be so much fun because they pose couples differently to what we would, so it keeps everything so fresh for us. So we're like, yes, let's get in with this photographer again. So that's really helpful. We kind of do little squats behind them. We do the weirdest ninja shit in shoots.
We do, yeah.
It's our favourite part of the day, basically. We just get really into it.
I don't think we don't really arrange any time structure or anything with the photographer or anything. I think we just work with the time we're given and just wing it. And
Oh, and a good tip, which we love to do, is wait till they've had a few drinks.
Oh yeah.
And then take them back out. And oh my God, the energy is just like shifts and they have so much fun and like,
Ideally for me, I like to do a portrait session just before the couple going for dinner, so you've got them on their own for a little bit. But that's almost the trial, right? You get them out there so they get used to you, but then afterwards the light's better anyway, but then also they've had some drinks and are a bit more comfortable, and that's when you get your best stuff, isn't it? But then the winter weddings come around and you only get that one shot anyway.
We save the better locations, like the cooler like walls and stuff, for when they're more comfortable, so then we're like, we know we're gonna nail this footage.
Would you guys ever kind of take the lead on it, in terms, would you say, photographer, we want to do this and we want to do it at this time in these places?
Kind of sometimes.
We do. I think that we think that we don't, but when we're in there we're like, oh, let's do this and let's do that.
We do just get overly excited because that is our favourite bit, and it does appear a lot in our video, and we wouldn't be able to do it without it. So we do kind of...
That's why we kind of go, you do your thing, to the photographer, so they can just get everything done, and then we can be like, oh my God, let's just get in their faces and do everything we want to do.
That's exactly how I expected it would work out, because looking at that, what a feature they are of our films, I knew that you guys would want to be in control of that, because it becomes such a big element of it, isn't it? So it needs to go pan out the way that you guys need to in terms of your edit, because you want lots of fast cuts, you want lots of different shots and different angles, so you need to have a control over that to a certain degree. But like I say, from a photographer's point of view, if I was shooting that photo, I'd love it as well. Get my shots. You guys get in there, getting all high energy, and you get some nice natural shots around you. That would like the dream.
And the good thing is, because we basically get kind of the same shots with every couple, we kind of know what we're doing, so it's quite a fast process. Like you'll go in, you'll do all these zooms in front of their faces, and like
we kind of know which poses we're gonna do as well. So like. We don't like heavily go with the poses, but it's like
it depends
we have,
on
like,
the couple,
some sort of vision in mind before the wedding, and then we're like, let's get that, and we work off those. It kind of escalates then from there. So
because you guys offer on your website, I noticed in your shop, you offer a posing guide, don't you? That people can purchase. And is that kind of like is that basically the secret sauce of your tips and tricks on how to keep that
honestly,
it's helped us. So it's helped. We created it.
The reason why we did it is because we were screenshotting stuff, like kind of poses that we wanted to recreate, and we were like let's just make it. So we've got our own. So we're and now it's so much easier because it's just in our pocket, and we can just be like, okay, we want this one and this one, and then we just kind of go from there.
Showing like a couple a picture that you want to recreate, even them getting into the pose, you get like the candid moments. It's just so easy.
We found it helps them relax a lot more, like
Definitely.
showing them this is kind of the vision that we want to recreate, and they like it.
Yeah.
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 I imagine. I think I would prefer that as well. Someone to tell me exactly where, or show me where things go. Because when you just try and describe someone, hand lower, drop your shot. It's kind of awkward, isn't it? Show them something.
But then there's some people who are just so perfectly natural at posing. I'm like, oh my God, we don't need to direct these people at all whatsoever. They just flow so easy. But that's very rare, isn't it? Like.
But what we like is we like to start with one kind of pose and then just let them kind of,
get
they give
into
us
it.
some more, so it's not like constant.
Do this pose,
then this pose, then this pose. It's just kind of, we maybe select about
giving them a starting
poses.
point almost,
and
then letting them evolve from that. What's natural to them.
Yeah, that's it. It kind of just like loosens them up a bit, and then we get all the natural stuff in between. Then
into the edit. Can we talk about the edit? This is going to be quite in depth, isn't it? I think. But,
I know. I'm so sorry. We will try and condense.
This like your guys' editing is incredible, but at the same time, it gives me massive anxiety watching it, thinking how on earth do they find the time to put this kind of edit together? So can you start off with kind of giving an overview of your editing workflow and what parts you start with first and how you structure it to get going initially?
Okay, so I guess we kind of first of all we'll like cut up the footage, and then we'll look through the music bed to try and find some songs, and we'll scan the footage while we're listening to the songs to see which ones are connecting most. We normally,
which is the hardest part, let me tell you. Finding that song
that can take days.
Yeah.
We got to.
Do you have like certain parameters that you use to filter that seem to fit to your vibe in terms of like how you can set for certain genres and certain moods, or are you just literally playing just a big old playlist of everything?
Yeah, we go through through everything, the playlists and everything. Like
it takes forever.
I like the new feature on MusicBed. Have you noticed they've got the AI feature? I love that.
Yes.
I've been using that so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you've got a song in mind that you like, you can like that one in terms of that you write the song you want it to sound like. Yeah.
Oh,
so
I
cool.
love that. That helps so much.
But I don't have the song in my mind that I want to sound like.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I know.
Yeah.
But so then she cuts it all up, and then what we'll do is we'll kind of find like our favorite clips and put them up, and then we're like, let's just start like the first 15 seconds will honestly take us like 2 days to do, which is ridiculous. Then the rest all flows easily, but it's that intro.
Yeah.
It's a killer.
Because that's a part that's got to like grab your attention.
Yeah.
So we focus a lot on that.
But we get the best.
And what do you want to be in? Ideally, what do you want to be in that intro? Is it specific things, or is it just a case of whatever the best bit of that day you want that there?
The best bits, but most like we got to have the couple in there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But like it depends. If it's like a super colourful day, we'll try and find all the colour and then just pop all that in the front. Or like the last ones we've been doing has been a lot of travel. So we've put all like the scenic shots in first to kind of like set the mood.
And details, we love florals and things like that. So all of that will go in the first 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh.
And in this case, then it makes itself after that, like kind of you get best bits in, and in case we're just letting it unfold after.
Yeah, when you're in the zone then, because it kind of just, while you're trying to get that 15 seconds, it just sets the tone for the rest, and it just becomes, that bit all just comes really naturally then, I think.
Also, when we find the songs that we like, we actually send the couple 3 options. So
fingers crossed and they choose the one that we like.
Yeah, because I mean, like, back in the day, we used to just edit it to a song that we liked, and when if it got back to them and they would be like, "Oh, could you change a song?" And it's like,
no, we just edited the whole.
That's really hard.
You can't just do that.
So now we give them the choice, and we'll pick about 3 songs and send that to them, so they ultimately get the final choice, and they can just say, oh no, I don't vibe with that one. Could you send me some more and stuff like that? So yeah.
If I was doing that though, I'd send the one I like and then 2 crap ones, so they get the one I like.
I know, but then what happens if they pick the shit one?
It's hard.
And then you're stuck with that. You'd be like, oh.
I mean, sometimes it's not always 3 songs. It might just be 2.
Yeah.
We can't find, or sometimes we just send one because we're like, we can't find any others that vibe with it.
Sometimes it takes us so long that we're like, I just can't find a second song. And this one's so good, and we just hope. To be fair, most people are like, we just trust you, just choose what you want. But we just have that anxiety.
I think that's what I'd want from you guys. I'd want you guys to pick for me.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't even want to be hearing that song before the film itself, because it's such a big feature.
That's also the thing, but there's that anxiety from like maybe one time someone asks us to change a song, we're like, it's going to happen every time.
We can't do it.
That's literally, for you guys, that's a full-on start over again with the way your films are structured, isn't it? Because the song is driving everything, isn't it? It's like the pace for it. And is that, so you've done your intro to your film, are you then letting the music almost dictate what bits then need to be put where?
Yeah.
The whole way through,
We edit to the beat as well. So
it's all done to the song.
So you have, like, the song. If the song drops down at any point, that's when you're going to put the more somber bits in. Not that your songs ever really drop down much, do they?
Never.
But they kind of like
I know.
Yeah. And do you worry about any kind of chronological order at all, or is it just literally what fits the vibe of that music for that little point?
Chuck it in.
Yeah. Just
the messier the better.
No structure.
And for those longer films where you are including ceremony and speeches, how do you integrate that into those films in terms of where you put in each bit of audio?
I mean, because there is a bit more structure to those ones, so the longer videos, I think we know more or less we're going to do like the first song being mainly getting ready, then the ceremony comes in the second song, and then the dancing and stuff in the last song.
There's more drops in those songs than there are in our fast ones, definitely.
Yeah, so it just makes a bit more sense where things go.
Yeah.
And would you have like, for my longer films, I keep like a bank of songs for each, so there's 3 sections, and for each 3 sections I have like 5 or so, 6 songs that I know would fit each category. Do you do a certain thing?
That's pretty much the same. We just kind of, we're basically recycling songs for most.
Yeah.
It just, they just go. It just works.
Yeah, and it's I did a podcast with Aaron Kenny as well, and he was speaking about his philosophy on this. And I kind of, at first when I was doing this, I think, oh, am I cheating people out? But at the same time, he was saying, why would you, if you've got a song that's perfect for a certain part of a film, and you know it's going to fit their stuff, why would you not let them have it just because you've used it before? It's going to, if you know it's going to work.
If it works, it works. There's no...
Yeah, and also imagine having to get 3 different songs like however many times.
That
would be impossible.
No thanks.
Absolutely
impossible. Way too time consuming.
Yeah. So you're selecting your music. You're literally you're scouring Music Bed all the time and just trying. Do you use any other libraries as well? Or is it mainly just Music Bed?
Mainly Music Bed.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we are lucky when imagine like the groom, for example, might be in a band, and then we can use their songs. So yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes we don't get the chance to choose the music. They've sent us something that like their friends have made, or something that's personal to them, and then we're a bit, luckily so far it's been good, because that gives me anxiety. I wish we could use sound a bit more. Like, I think we need to practice into doing some more, because I want
to get more into it.
Is it AMY who did that quite a lot, and they have like all the trains when you see the train, and I just love it. I don't think it would suit our vibe, but I just love watching videos like that.
Like putting bits of audio snippets from the actual wedding in.
Lush.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think that I need to put more of that as well, because that's the power we have over photo, isn't it? The sound of the day. So I'm thinking, am I doing my couples of just taking it out? But
I know.
Quite often, especially in bridal prep, there's some random music on in the background and things like that, isn't there?
I know.
Or my heavy breathing when I'm trying to keep my camera stable.
Yeah. And again, like I said, we're not quite enough to...
I know, it's true. We're just blab, blab, blab all the time.
When people say, can we buy the raw footage? I'm like, absolutely
you don't want
not.
That.
You don't need to hear that.
It's annoying.
I can imagine that's integral to getting the work, getting the shots that you need. Your high energy is rubbing off on people.
Yeah.
Because
especially when there's 2 people with cameras, well, 3 maybe, there's a photographer as well.
Yeah.
I guess it could be quite intimidating, but you need to be putting them at ease by having fun with them, and then
for
you
sure.
get what you need from that.
Because
Yeah.
if we're like quite dry, they're going to be like, they're not going to be like, woo! You know?
They mirror your energy, don't
Yeah.
they? So, yeah.
There's so many other jobs we have to do other than just filming on the day.
Oh my
isn't there? We have
God.
to read the room. We have
Yeah.
to bring the energy. We have to
We get the
there's a
day
lot.
after the wedding. It's a wedding hangover. We're knackered. It's
Oh.
like drained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Go into a dark room and not talk to anyone for
Yeah.
a while. Be too sociable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's
lot,
where
isn't
editing
it?
happens.
I know.
Dark room. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the colour grading on your films, I love it, like nice and vibrant, and it matches perfectly the visuals that we're seeing. What's your process for grading? I imagine it's changed now, is it? If you're going into Da Vinci, you're going to be doing all through Da Vinci, but...
I mean, that's definitely something we can improve on. I think we don't do it in the proper way that we're really supposed to, because like we don't shoot in log or anything like that. So we're really relying on the colours that the camera gives. So that's why we love Canon so much, though, because it's so vibrant.
The colours are amazing.
And, I love it. Yeah. So yeah, we don't actually do much to the colouring because we have our little
Profile that we've set up on the
camera.
Oh, okay. So you have your profile in the camera. So in the edit, are you literally just kind of maybe doing a bit of contrast and stuff, maybe a bit of film grain, that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's it. It's just little tiny tweaks.
tweaks.
Sometimes we don't even touch the clips. We just like the
They
way
just
it
look
is.
so good.
Yeah. But obviously some come out like too warm, and then we're just changing the white balance, things like that.
But then when I see people who do it properly, I'm like, oh my God, I wish we could
so
like,
much better.
It's not like it looks better.
I know, yeah.
Our grading is amazing, but I feel like
It's a whole new thing to learn, isn't it? It's I think we'd need to dedicate a lot of time into learning all of like if we were to shoot in log and all the colour grading.
The videographers that we met in Australia?
White and Reverie.
Yeah, they have like their own little roles. So, like one of them will edit and then the other one will colour grade because it's like a whole other role.
Kaylin runs Gamut. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Those LUTs?
I use that's the base that I use from them for
So amazing.
I've literally only just started using log. I'm sound like so when I edit my log footage, which I've only been doing for 2 weeks, like, I was same as you guys. I was like standard profile and stuff, but I use the gamut that those guys have made because they know their stuff, right?
Oh, they're amazing.
So good, and they're like such lush people as well. We love them so much.
We learned so much from their talk.
We did a workshop with them, a film camp with them in Australia.
It was amazing.
Nice.
They were one of the speakers as well. So it was so lush.
Were bottle brush films there?
Yeah.
What do you think today's guys?
Oh my God,
I think they were. I think you'd vibe with their work.
Yes.
They were always like, "You inspired us loads," and I'm like, "What? Like
you inspire us?
You inspire us?"
They're so incredible. Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of fangirling going on. We're like, boop, 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 boop.
I feel like their work is somewhere like my kind of style and your kind of style, somewhere merged in the middle, like kind of like mine's more narrative music video. It's the best of both. Like,
I feel like if I watch one of their videos, I'll just cry myself to sleep. It's just the most amazing thing.
Depressing to watch how amazing it is.
Insane.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
I know that feeling. Yeah.
I don't think I could watch someone else's wedding video for like 8-9 minutes. Like when people release long versions, I'm like, I can't sit for that long.
Yeah.
Anyone that they release, I'm like, I am watching. Like
so much fun.
Ridiculous.
But they take you on a full on journey, don't they? Like
there's
a lot of humour in their work, which I love because you rarely see humour in wedding films.
I know.
Yeah, on the day itself, there's lots of humour there, right?
Yeah.
But they really manage to kind of bring that out, and then you've got all the flows of a wedding day in their films, and they really inspire me massively.
I feel like Australian couples are a whole different. It's just different vibes to what UK.
When we went there, like the vibe is like, oh my God, it's amazing.
There's a lot of energy.
They are fun.
Yeah. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
I feel like UK people are kind of worried about what people are going to think. Like people are quite reserved and like
a little bit more awkwardness.
Yeah,
you find
in Australia they don't give a fuck. They're just like it's wild.
But then they've got that kind of concentration. The visuals are very similar to like an American style wedding as well, especially like how they do the ceremonies are more kind of like a celebration. More like a humanist celebration is over here. So it's almost the best of both worlds. They make everything look pretty, but they have a good old laugh as well.
Yeah.
Right? That's my kind of...
I love it.
I think we need more like really cool weddings like that in the UK, don't we? Where they actually like put so much effort into the ceremonies and things, and yeah.
Think outside the box. I mean, we're trying to push it all times. We're always like, this is how you can think outside the box.
Yeah.
Do you kind of do that? Do you have much communication with your couples beforehand, trying to insert little ideas in terms of what they can do to make sure they're on the same vibe with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a little tips and secrets book that we send out to them. And,
oh, nice. Yeah. Can you give us a little insight into what's in that?
Yeah, it's just kind of like little pointers, advice, and some vendors that we like.
Yeah. Like what to expect. Because I think most people worry about what's going to happen. Like the unknown is what kind of like freaks them out.
Yeah.
So we kind of just state exactly how we work, what to expect from us, and then they're just,
Yeah, like
it
we'll
just makes
kind
them
of
comfortable.
tell them things like we work handheld, so we won't be bringing massive tripods and things like that. So yeah, it's just things like that.
Yeah. I think there's so much that we can do pre-wedding, isn't there, to make sure that we can create the best work for our couple. It's just because we spend our lives at weddings, but they're quite often for them it's usually their first time ever been to a wedding, and even if it's not their first wedding, their wedding before would have been a long time ago, very different. So we have to use our expertise to kind of guide them, I guess, on the day, don't we, to make sure that they have a great day, but we can get what we need for them. So guys, branding. It seems to me that you have a very clear idea of your brand. If we can we dive into that a little bit? Like, how did you put together the brand you've got now?
It was important to us to not just be wedding. It was like, we're just going to have our brand be ourselves and all the things that we like. And
yeah, it's very much a reflection of us.
Yeah.
So with our website, Glenn, who makes websites from I Make OK websites, is that? Yeah. And he's...
plug.
Yeah, I know.
Link in the description.
I know. Well, he obviously helped us bring our vision to life, I guess, like... Yeah, he's...
But he knows us, so he just had to... That was very easy for him to just put that. But I feel like the first thing I want to see when I go onto a photographer's or videographer's like site or Instagram, I'm like, who are they? I need to know who's behind the camera. Because I can't... Like, I don't know what it is, but there's something I connect with the people rather than the work, which is really weird. But our brand has definitely come quite easy to us because it is just us being ourselves.
Your work and your website, everything is so in sync. It's like perfectly in sync, which is then is so intentional to be able to capture the kind of couples that you want. Because, like you're saying, you need certain types of couple to be able to create the work that you want to create. So did you say, I want this font, it's got to be this colour, that kind of thing? Did you almost direct exactly what you wanted, or did they have an idea based on your interests and overall
Again,
feel?
it's just our interest. We've just kind of described what we want and then what our interests. We're just like Americana, deserty, Western.
I guess we give inspiration of all things that we like, and then like, you know, designers like Glenn can put that together. You know? So we're not exactly choosing the fonts, but we're kind of giving
vibes. But again, like one of the most important things for us is for a couple to see our site and be like, they're a bit of us. Like I want to like put people off that aren't our vibe, if that makes sense. Because like we are quite niche, and our wedding videos don't work for everyone. So we want... A perfect example is when a client once emailed us, in part of our form, we say, tell us all the cool shit about your wedding. And then she replied saying, I can't believe you've just said the word shit in an email. We don't want you anymore. So I was
perfect.
Like, cool. Well, we've literally just proved our point. Like, if we had done that wedding, she would have hated our video. Do you know, like, I feel like branding is so important for you to reach your people.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're branding it's a filter as much as anything. It's kind of, it's capturing the people that you want, and you're putting them through this filter then to make sure that they're on board.
Definitely.
Also, I'm imagining, because you had such a clear idea of the kind of couples you wanted from the start, was your brand quite clear from the beginning as well? Did you always have such a distinct brand?
We've had a couple of rebrands over years,
but it's always been the exact same vibes.
Always inspired by Tarantino, that's for sure. But we're actually going to be doing a rebrand soon.
Yeah, we are. We're working on a rebrand right now.
Oh, nice.
Exciting.
'Cause how long have you had the current brand for?
For ages.
Yeah, a few years now. Yeah.
I just feel like, again, like now with our new cameras and stuff, it's just inspired us to just do a whole new
Is it
vibe.
a new era?
Yeah, it'll still be very, very us. So,
Yeah.
because it's our personality, which is going to change, so
Yeah.
got to keep it us.
Yeah, well, that's true, isn't it? As we grow and develop, then obviously, because you guys put so much of yourselves into these films, your films are going to change as you guys change, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And were you guys, when you first started out, were you, what kind of age were you?
Oh my God, I think I hadn't even finished uni. I was,
Ew.
I know, I think I was like 19 when I started. 20,
No.
20, it must have been. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
That's disgusting. That's all our lives.
Yeah,
Over a
'cause it's
decade,
been-
yeah.
Yeah, we've been in the business for like 12 years now. I'm 32 now.
I can't even do the math.
I
I'm
know, is that math
36.
right?
So from being like a 19-year-old to a 32-year-old, that's a big old change in someone's life, isn't it?
know.
And you're like still like kind of
I know.
Loving it.
Look,
the
we
age
have
that
not
people get
grown
married
up.
as well is mainly around what I'd say like 24, 30
Yeah.
kind of thing as well. So you've gone through the you know exactly what people want. You're the demographic.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
I
It's
can't
because we
believe-
still listen to the same music when we were like
Yeah.
teens. We're just, yeah. How funny.
Yeah.
Same with our
I find it
videos.
so weird that I feel I'm closer in age now to the parents than the couple.
Oh my
Like, and
God.
it's- yeah, and sometimes I was talking about I brought up do you know, Ant and Dec. Can you remember when they were PJ and Duncan? Or are you guys too young
Yeah.
for
Oh my
that?
God, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was saying PJ and Duncan. I mentioned PJ Duncan. They were like, "What? What's that?" I was like, Ant and Dec, and they didn't know anything. They didn't know anything about the blinding by paintballs. They didn't know anything.
my
Like,
God.
yeah, but yeah,
That's
wild.
time to give up. Clearly,
Yeah.
it's over.
I was just,
People
that's
don't know who PJ and
wild.
Duncan are. Cool. And what would you say are the most important elements to create a great brand? Because you guys are like the experts on this, clearly, because everything that you do is just so refined.
I think just being the face of your own brand. I
Yeah.
think that's what's gonna
Being
like,
yourself.
Yeah, that's what's gonna set you apart from everybody else.
It always sounds so
Yeah.
bitchy, but we're like, don't copy anyone else.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
That's
it's,
the
it's not gonna
be
get
true
you
to
started.
yourself. That's what makes your work individual because it's all about you. So just put as
Yeah.
much of yourself in it as you can.
Yeah.
So what I find most interesting about you guys as well is you came in from the start with your vision. Like where most people think, oh, I'm going to do wedding films. What are wedding films like? Then they start
Yeah.
copying, and then they gradually try over time find their style. Whereas you guys were, this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And then, and
Yeah.
then throw it out there and then fight everyone. It's like,
It must be because there is so much inspiration now. Like, if I wonder if we were to start now, if we would still do it how it's, because like I said, like with Bottle Brush, with like AMY, with the travel, and everyone's so different that I'd find it quite overwhelming to start now because I would look at all this stuff and be like, oh my God, like all of this is,
know.
the
That's true.
standards are so high now. When we started, there was like 3 videos. So like,
Yeah.
do you know, like it must be quite overwhelming
Yeah.
to start now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I imagine if you guys did start now, you'd find something. You'd find your unique
Yeah.
deal. But maybe you probably got interested in it because there was a gap there and there was a need to create something new and exciting. And then you dived
Yeah.
into it. I imagine you'd still find... Or
Yeah.
you'd do something completely different.
Yeah.
Like, because you guys do a lot of branding work, don't you, with brands? It's like films for brands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, when you're doing that kind of work, is it very similar to how you operate with your weddings?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just in a smaller time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love it. I
And you just have to wait longer to get paid as well, right? Usually
Yeah,
with
I know.
brands.
I just love it just keeps everything fresh because you get to constantly do different things. Like, we never set out to just do weddings, so it's really nice that we get to do music videos, branding,
Yeah.
like family
Yeah.
shoots, like anything. We're just like, it's really fun to put our spin on absolutely anything.
Yeah,
It keeps
yeah.
it fresh.
Give it a bit of Costa Sister spice.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Flavour. I'd like to talk about now, guys, about workshops. I know that you offer quite a few different workshop bits, don't you?
Hmm.
Can you let me know what you do and what you offer?
Our workshops in general are based around a lot of imposter syndrome and like, because I think people, especially when there's only one of, like most creatives are just on their own, like it's,
Yeah. We
there's
encourage...
not many duos, so it's quite hard
we encourage people to have confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And how to get their vision, what they want it to be, and like
to kind of just have the courage to be
people
yourself.
need reassurance that they're doing the right thing, because it is so hard. Like I said, if there wasn't two of us, we probably wouldn't have been going for as long as we've been going, because it's hard to motivate yourself. It's hard to get
and
over hurdles and
kind of create a community, you know, and just like to meet other videographers and photographers and things, and just just build a stronger community. And it's also about, our workshops are about content creating as well. So we will put together a really cool shoot, and where photographers and videographers can go wild and take amazing content.
A lot of people are like quite scared to go for what they think they want to do. For some reason, like, because it's so natural to us, I'm like, just go for it. Like, and I feel like a lot of our workshops is pushing people to actually go with what they want, like their dream clients, rather than just
we kind of
go
help
in with
them
the flow.
Navigate that as well.
It's so inspiring how you guys, right from the beginning, had your vision, I went with it and stuck with it. But also, especially after at the start, getting friction from other videos. If anything, I bet that powered you even more though as well, did, to a certain extent. When people are telling you wrong, you're like, what do you know? Like,
Watch us.
From teaching people and running workshops with people, do you find there are some common mistakes that people make when they're first starting out doing videography, wedding films?
I would say, and we did the same, is kind of copying other artists and things, and that's what we encourage people not to do, because we've known from experience that does not get you, where you want to be, and
I think the most common mistake is thinking about what the client wants, which obviously you have to do in some sort of respect. But I think to be able to get creative, you've got to drop that expectation and just do it how you want to do it. Like, you're the creative, like they're trusting, like they trust you to do what you need to do. And
you're going to evolve further if you are, if you have the confidence to be yourself, and that's how you're gonna, think of all these new ideas and things like that. And you just have to push yourself to, just be yourself.
And I think in terms of, for people that like just starting and are thinking, well, how can I just do something with myself when I need to try and please a client? So one way around that is doing the 2 film thing, where you do a longer film and a shorter film. You create that longer film for your couples, that's your accountability. And then that shorter film, you go wild and you do that in the style that you want to.
That's
and
it.
Put yourself into it, and then you build on from that, can't you?
Yeah,
definitely. Sure. Or even doing
boxes.
A styled shoot, like with no real clients, so you can just work
yourself
and express and just practice and make mistakes and do all of that with no pressure at all whatsoever.
You guys had a perfect way around it of running that competition and then be able to filter the people through to get what you wanted. But that is the hard bit at the start, isn't it? Getting those people initially that are onto the same vibe as you. So a styled shoot, I imagine, is the perfect way. You're curating the event to then film. And but then I guess it depends on your style, doesn't it? Because if you're like similar to me, if you're similar to me, where I'm like mainly narrative, like audio.
That's true.
You can't really fake that.
That's true.
But then you could get the styled shoots out there, get your Instagram profile with the visuals that you like. Start bringing those people in to then shoot their weddings.
Definitely.
If you guys were starting your business again, from now, what parts of your business would you focus on to get going? With hindsight, knowing what you know now.
I know, well, this is...
I think I wouldn't have relied so heavily on Instagram. I think I would have put my eggs in more baskets. I think focusing on SEO and, website and other social media platforms and...
I know, it's so hard, isn't it?
But I keep bringing it up, but I think you guys are quite unique in how that you had such the start was so strategic. Usually it's people are like, oh, what do I do? So it's kind of like, if I was you guys, I'd be doing exactly what you did right from the start.
Stay clear to your vision, and whatever you put out there is what you're going to get back. So just always remember to keep it consistent. Is my main.
and we're super lucky enough to have you guys talking at Coda for us this year in October. Can you just give us, without spoiling everything, can you give us a little overview of what you're going to be talking about?
Branding, marketing, imposter syndrome and things like that.
Brilliant. Awesome. Cool. Imposter syndrome is such a key element to get into as well, isn't it? Because no matter what level you're at, you're gonna be feeling that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really easy to compare yourself to other people in the industry, isn't it? And sometimes it can be quite deflating, especially if you are on your own.
And you,
yeah.
My God.
There's a question that I ask absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
And it's what were the biggest light bulb moments in your career so far? Like when something like suddenly made sense and helped you progress or find a path that you wanted to take?
COVID.
I know.
I think before COVID, we were going through a little phase where we were feeling a little bit lost. And we were like, how can we progress? Like, I feel like we're like at a little bit of a dead end, and I don't know how to get out of that kind of zone. But COVID came and also
it forced everyone to take a break. So you reflect on things, and you're like, sometimes when you're doing something for so long as well, you need a little break to just fall back in love with it.
Yeah. And
so it definitely...
Also, our mum passed away during that COVID time. So, yeah, we...
sorry to hear that.
Thanks. But we did need a break.
Yeah,
and
but
it couldn't have come at a more perfect
We completely stopped Instagram at that point because we were just so busy looking after her. But that was when we kind of had a whole refresh on everything. We were like, what's important to us, the kind of thing, like...
Well, the break, such good timing of the break is like, that's kind of that moment where we were kind of, we needed that because then we came out of that break feeling inspired all over again. And we were like, we had like new ideas of like, oh, this is what we want to do. And we actually thought of trying complete new things. Like now we're even getting into unit photography with, behind the scenes in films and things like that. So
wow.
it's a whole
it's been
new
really
direction.
fun.
Yeah.
Because there's no one doing behind the scenes videos on movie sets in the same style as we do.
Yeah.
So we've been trying that out. Like it's just been really fun to do new things.
We also released a clothing brand. Yeah.
Wow.
But basically, a break, people get scared of having a break. And my God, that it
benefits.
Listen to your body. If you need a break, take a break.
I know,
and
yeah.
You'll be surprised at what things come from.
Yeah, we needed, I think it was about a year or two that we had it off, and wow, it was
lush.
Yeah.
So you just kind of almost you pressed the reset button on your life. Do you think without COVID happening, you would have given yourself that time?
Absolutely not.
No,
Never.
I think I think our mindset shifted completely from before COVID to now, I think.
And so basically through the whole time we've been doing weddings, at no point have we ever been caught up. Never. So COVID gave us the chance to actually
catch up
with everything.
And now we're,
It used to take us so long to edit weddings. One couple were actually divorced when we sent it to them. That was our waiting list.
No, really?
Literally,
Did you still
that
send
was
it?
our waiting list.
Did you know?
Yeah.
So it was just so nice to finally be able to have a stop, a think, and oh my God, because it was the first time we'd ever been caught up. And
like now when we film a wedding, we can actually edit it.
Yeah,
after
we're
the
like,
wedding. We're like, yes.
And, and it is so much fun to just edit a wedding straight after the wedding. I'm like, oh my God, this is what people... It was amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
So how long does it take you generally to edit? Because I imagine it's such a long process.
It does vary hugely from project to project. I think it does very much depend on the couple and the wedding, but I'd say at least a week for sure.
2 weeks.
Yeah, around 2 weeks.
Which isn't actually as long as you'd think, but
it's more the reason why it takes so long is because other things get in the way, like you've got to go do filming in between those days, so it's never like a consistent week. Yeah, and you've got to do all the
emails take me a whole day, and then people reply and I'm like, I've got to do that all over again.
Yeah, so it's never like a solid time frame. It's like it varies.
Yeah. Do you give your couples an idea beforehand, or is it a case of you get it when you get it?
Yeah, we give them where they are on the list. So we'll say we've got this project before you, or we'll let them know where they are on the list. We do say, sometimes it might take months, but sometimes it might take weeks. And now we're much better because we're all caught up, so we can actually give them a good time frame. And
one of the best things I ever did was put editing queue on my website so people can go and check to see where they are. Because if at least they've got something to look back, it keeps the emails off you, doesn't it? Because when that email comes in, we're asking where your film is. The stress starts to build, and you need to be in a zone, especially with the way you guys edit, which is a very in-depth, long process.
Yeah.
You need to be in that zone, don't you? You don't want to be rushing it. You want to get it right. So when I was obviously doing my research on you guys, I knew your work quite well because I've been following you for so long. I'm such a big fan. But I did some extra deep dive into your website, and you have the shop on there. And there's quite a few educational products that you offer, aren't they? Can you just talk us through what you offer?
Yeah, so we do the posing guide. We've got volume 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And we are making more. We also do shot lists, which helps you,
what we look for in weddings, what are the shots that we need to get. We've done like a little checklist of all the things that are important to us.
Which again, we take with us on our weddings because we find it's really helpful. And we're actually working on, because a lot of people always ask us, can they shadow us on a shoot? And to get an insight to the way we work. So we thought, we can't do that to everyone, so we just why not make a product out of it? And so we're going to put together a really in-depth insight into the way that we work, and we're going to set up a shoot and show exactly how we interact with the couple,
what we look for.
So it will literally be like you are shadowing us on a shoot.
How we would do.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And can multiple people come along to that, or is it kind of like a one on two situation?
It's a buy online, so we're going to film
video.
it.
That will be filmed.
Oh, it's like a behind the scenes video of the whole Oh, amazing! Yeah, and that will be available through your website.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. When do you think? When can we expect that to be out and about, or is it? Is it in
we're
the process
hoping
at the moment?
after summer.
Yeah, I think around
end of the year.
Yeah, but I think around September or something like that. But we just need to arrange. We've got everything prepped. We just need
it's in the works.
Couple sessions.
Yeah. Oh, amazing! Yeah,
I
think I'll jump on board of that bad boy. I'm desperate to see how it unfolds. Absolutely, behind the scenes videos are my thing. I'm just so into it. That'd be awesome to watch. So.
On the shop, you can also buy tickets to our workshops as well.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Do you have any coming up soon?
We have one in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but who's going to fly out to Vegas? We've got one in Hereford.
And one in Hereford,
Which
so
is
Vegas and Hereford.
Take a trip or...
I know.
Yeah. Take your pick. Which would you prefer? Awesome. And thank you so much, guys. I've taken up a lot of your time, as I do with all these podcasts. It seems I go on for hours, but thank you so much for your insight and how you run your business. And we can't wait to host you in October at Coda.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Coda podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and wouldn't mind helping us out, please consider leaving a rating and a review wherever you get your podcasts. We have many more conversations with inspiring filmmakers still to come, so make sure to subscribe to be notified when the next episode goes live.